Thoughts?
Yeah, it was a long day. We were hoping for a little bit longer day, obviously. We played well in one of three facets of the game. I thought we swung the bats well, didn't pitch or play defense, and a team like Florida is going to expose that. And, we poured it all out there, though. I mean, I'm not no regrets about this game, how, it went. Obviously, we want to be on the right side of it, but we competed our tails off for the whole time we were out there. These guys did it together. They're a championship ball club for a reason. That's because they got heart and toughness, and they love each other. And, I'll forever be grateful for this 2024 team.
Questions?
I guess for both of you guys, your first years here, what are your emotions in the moment after? And when you reflect on the season you guys had, what comes to mind?
Praise be to God to be able to wear this uniform across my chest. It's Lou Gehrig Day. There's a lot of people who aren't as fortunate as we are with disease and sickness, and just the chance that we get to lace up our cleats and put the hat on and go out there and take the field just fires you up each and every time. Looking back on the season, there's a lot to be proud of, but there's also a lot of work to be done, and we're going to continue to put our head down and come back next year even stronger. But to learn from that and just look back, review some film, and understand where you could be better next time around, because we're going to be back in a regional and we'll be stronger. And just being a Nebraska baseball player is such a blessing in itself. So.
Yeah, and then for me, I think, just the people that I've been able to be around for this year and, get to learn from the coaching staff and some lifelong friends that I'm, never going to stop being in contact with. It's just been a great year.
Will, how do you size up this whole season?
Yeah, I mean, these guys are winners. I mean, that's what I told them. They won in every area of their lives this year. In the classroom, one of the highest team GPAs we've ever had at Nebraska. They punch the clock every single day with everything that they do. And we won a championship the hard way. When a lot of people counted us out and said we couldn't do it, we went ahead and did it anyway. And, Beek probably said it better than I could ever say it, but we fell short of where we wanted to end up. I feel like we had a team, strong enough to continue to play into next week. But if you look at across the country, it's everybody's good, and there's a lot of teams that hosted regionals that are no longer playing, and a lot of really good teams that aren't going to get to win their last game, and really only one team gets to be happy in the end. So, am I thankful and happy about the team that we had? Absolutely. Am I proud of them in every single way? The season was a success because these guys are going to leave. The guys that are seniors and are out of eligibility and have a chance to get drafted, they're going to leave our program in a better place than they found it. That's for sure. So for that, I'm really, really proud of them.
Coach, just from today, where do you think things kind of fell apart or just didn't go the way you wanted?
Well, we played well in one of three facets. Like I said, we swung the bats well, but we didn't pitch or play defense really. I honestly, we right when we'd get some momentum offensively, we just didn't get the shutdown inning. That's kind of what it boiled down to. So we weren't able to keep the momentum in our dugout. And our pitching staff's done a fantastic job all year long of doing that. And just today, too many balls over the middle of the plate for a good lineup. And probably my only regret is that the rain came and Cal Froehlich didn't get to continue to pitch.
Was that ever a conversation about whether he would go back out there?
No. Once the delay went over an hour, I thought it was just the right move from his health standpoint not to send him back out there.
What makes that Florida lineup so tough to navigate?
I think they take really good ABs and they swing hard, and then they're competing in there, and I think they have a very balanced approach. They hit everything all day, and when you, like Coach said, when you leave balls over the middle of the plate, they were ready for it.
Josh, just looking back on this season, kind of when you came into the program, what were your kind of expectations, and then just now looking back on how the season panned out, just what are your thoughts of all the success you guys were able to have?
I was very unfamiliar with Nebraska when I first got the call from Coach Harvell. And when I got there, it felt like home. And when I look at the people who they have put around us, from Katie Jewell, academic advisor, to Riley Loy, our nutritionist, even to Coach Childress and Coach Bolt, Coach Sirianni, and Coach Harvell. Everybody cares about what they're there for and their job, and they're about it, up through and through, up and down. And so that's something I was unfamiliar with, stepping into a program like that, a program with a rich culture at Nebraska of winning. And so it made it easy to transition and get in there and have people around you to push you who you are as a man and also who you are as a ball player. And so when I got the opportunity to take the field that first game against Baylor, it was easy because we know what we'd done all fall and how hard and how much sweat we had put in the bucket and just the endless reps that we had. And so stepping into the season, I knew my brothers were behind me. I knew the leadership was where it needed to be and was putting the pawns where they needed to go. And there was nothing else to be said except go out and compete and leave it all out there. And so it made my job easy to go out there and play third base for Nebraska. And looking back on that, it's just such a blessing to even be there and wearing that jersey. So.
Will, when you hear guys talk like that about your program and about the people that are involved, what does that mean to you?
Well, it's special because at the end of the day, the number one job we have is to grow these guys up. So when they leave our program, they're ready to go off in the real world. Some of them are going to play baseball for a long time. Others, their career, ended today. There's a much bigger picture when it comes to all this, is that they're accountable to each other, accountable to themselves, no excuses. Just show up and put the work in. If you can do that in your life, then you got a chance to be pretty successful. And again, that's why I'm so proud of this group. There's never an excuse. There was never an out. There was never a reason to ask to make it easier. And if they did, they were okay with being held accountable to that. And that shows some grown men toughness right there. And like I said, we're trying to be the toughest team in the country. Not meaning anything else other than a team that can show up and take a punch and continue to fight regardless of what life throws at you, regardless of what the game throws at you. And to hear these guys talk, that's the most important thing to me, is that they have that type of experience, because the ultimate student-athlete experience is having a chance to win and being a winner, and that's what these guys are.
Coach, some of the seniors who aren't sitting next to you, Brett and Ben and Cole and the others, what can you say about what they've done to kind of set the foundation for this thing?
Yeah, 10 months ago when we embarked on our journey, we talked about fun versus rewarding. And it's not always going to be, everything that you do is not always going to be fun, but it's going to be worth it if you can stay in the fight and just give everything you have. And so I'd give all the credit to the older guys in our program, that they really set the tone for these new guys that didn't really know what they were getting into when they showed up. They welcomed them with open arms, but they also held them to a high standard, and that's probably the most important thing, because anybody can be buddies with somebody and give each other outs, when it comes to the standard. But the standard was a standard with this group, and it started with the older guys in our program having that type of mentality and wanting to be on this stage, and quite frankly, wanting to be a championship ball club. Because like I said, you have to welcome those expectations, and the standards we have at Nebraska. That's what we're looking for, and I'm very, very thankful for our upperclassmen that they set the tone each and every day for our ball club.
What's the next step, Will, as you go into the offseason and do what you guys do? What has to be that thing to close the gap and get further?
Yeah, I think we're going to have, probably for the first time in a while, a pretty good group of returning players that have tasted a high level of success, and that are going to be hungry for more. So I think that's really important. Again, it's our job as coaches is to put the best talent around the guys that return, because it makes them better. And so we're going to be doing that this summer, trying to put together the best roster possible. And, and the guys that are coming back are going to go play summer ball. And the guys that aren't going to go play summer ball are going to be getting bigger, faster, stronger in the weight room. So for us to get where we want to get to, we just got to keep improving, and again, we're going to continue to push the envelope to get to where we want to get to. And like I said, only one team can be happy in the end. But I can tell you this, I'm thankful for this group, and I look forward to continuing to push these guys to become the best version of who they possibly can be.
Coach, the ball that Rhett hit in the first inning that was
Yeah.
called foul, what was your angle on that? And from the TV broadcast, it didn't look like there was a shot straight down the line of it.
Yeah. I thought it was fair, just from where I was sitting. So,
Your time dealing with scouts and people in pro ball, what do you think the value of what Gabe Swanson's done the last couple of weeks does to his pro stock? Do you think that changes some of the options he might have this summer, or just in terms of the sample size?
yeah, I mean, I couldn't really speak to that. All I know is that Gabe was unconscious here at the end of the year, and the time that the team needed him the most. I think the fact that it was a new season and the postseason gave him a clean slate. Unbelievable young man. I mean, I just couldn't. He's a quiet kid, and he never wavered from the team, and it's why he honestly had an opportunity to do what he did, and why I wanted to continue to give him opportunities. He showed his talent at the end of the year, and yeah, who knows? I mean, he was by far. I mean, it was the best run I've ever seen potentially over an extended period of time. When the postseason hit, I mean, it's not easy to do. I mean, everybody's got dudes at this time of year, and Gabe Swanson was the ultimate dude.
Coach, just talking about Kyle Perry, pretty emotional in the dugout after the game. He's been here as long as you. Just what is a player like that given to the program, and to see them play their last game? Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty special. KP poured all of his guts into Husker baseball, and he had times to step away from the game and step away from the program, and especially in a day and age where it's easy just to kind of move on and go somewhere else or do something else, or just say, I want to go to work, or whatever. KP he just loves the Huskers, and he loves his teammates, and so I'm glad that he came back for another year and got to hoist a trophy and be part of a dog pile, because I know he's been hungry for that. He was part of the 21 team and a big part of that regional as well for us that year. But a lot of injuries, but the kid has got a lot of fight and a lot of heart and a lot of character, and and pretty indicative of how this team was.
Well, I know you didn't make the trip. Did you hear anything from Greg Sharp before you guys made it down?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Did you hear anything from Greg Sharp
Yeah,
before you guys made it
yeah,
down?
yeah. No, we've been in contact, via text message, and saw him I'm glad he was able to be there for the Big Ten championship there in Omaha, and we're praying for him every day. This group has a strong faith, and I know positive vibes, going his way, and hoping that he continues to, beat this thing and fight the good fight, because I know he's got an army of people that are behind him.
I was just going to ask you guys too, as players, how did you kill time during the delay, and did you feel like that helped you refocus or anything like that during that time?
Just trying to stay loose, keep the mind sharp, and be ready to go. The timer just kept on resetting, so you didn't really know. And when you hear first word of when you're stretching and when you're getting loose, you just trying to understand what was going on in the game at the time and be able to pick right back up where it left off.
Anything else? Thank you very much.